Frank is 70, Christina 33. It was a May-December romance doomed from the start.
Did you, at any time, discuss with him getting married?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you used him.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Trombley versus Trombley. Step forward, please.
25-year-old Jennifer Trombley is suing her husband, Russell Trombley, claiming he physically abused her throughout their marriage. Mr. Trombley's countersuit alleges that his wife has a drug problem and has neglected their daughter.
Order. All rise. Judge, it's number 159 on the calendar in the matter of Trombley versus Trombley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You two folks are married, in the process of getting a divorce. You've been married for 2 years. You have a 2-year-old child, Mrs. Trombley. I have your complaint. You are seeking $5,000 from your husband for emotional stress.
Yes, I am.
Well, I'd like you to tell me about it. You have a countersuit. I'll hear that in a minute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm really suing because he broke into my best friend's house.
I tell you, this has nothing to do with your best friend's house. There's nothing in here in the complaint about your best friend's house.
Well, he broke in there and attacked me.
Well, let me hear about it.
That's what brought this complaint.
Let me hear about it. The attacking you is something else. Let me hear about the attacking you.
Once he entered the house?
Yeah.
He ran through the house and threw me against the wall and kicked me and then left with our daughter screaming in the living room.
What had precipitated this?
I hadn't come home the night before because...
Why not?
Because I was afraid of getting hit. And when I did come home in the morning, he raised his hand to me, and if he hadn't seen my friend, he would have hit me.
That's untrue. There was no threat of violence of her coming home at any point, ever. She was with her friend partying late into the night.
He says you do drugs, Mrs. Trombley, and that you depleted the bank account of your family, took checks out, forged checks, ran up bills, forced them into bankruptcy, all because you were doing drugs and staying out, partying with your friends, etc. Any of that true?
Some of it's true.
What's true?
I do have a past history of drug abuse.
We're not talking about past. We're talking about current.
No, I don't.
What makes you think she has a drug problem?
Oh, I have all kinds of ample evidence to prove that she has a drug problem. Just as of July 18th, I got a call from Burbank Police Department who had just arrested a drug dealer, stating that he had my calling card. I have here 12 pages of the calls that this man made with my calling card. Who was given...
Who is this man?
This man's name is nicknamed Morbid.
You know that person?
Yes, I do.
Well, what does he do for a living?
He deals drugs, right, Jen? He deals drugs.
What does he do for a living?
He doesn't really do much for a living.
He deals drugs. And this is Jen's main drug dealer. This is a man that she went to Mexico with.
While you were married?
What? Last month.
Is that right?
Yes.
Terrific.
My wife disappeared for 3 days on the premise that she was going to look for jobs. At 2 p.m., with no hassle, no fighting, we had made love in the morning. At 2 p.m., she said, I'm on my way to go put some applications in. I did not see my wife for 3 days, at which she had taken both sets of our car keys and left me in the care of our daughter. I have a full-time job. I had to take 3 days off from work. On the third day, risking financial ruin and losing my job, I had to take my 2-year-old daughter to work with me. No calls from my wife.
Does that sound familiar to you, Miss Trombley?
Yes, that's all true. And it was all because I was afraid to come home because he was hitting me.
Afraid to come home, so she takes a vacation with a drug dealer to Tijuana, Mexico.
Mr. Trombley,
Order.
Let me tell you this, sir. Let me tell you this. I read your answer to her complaint. Her complaint is nonsense. I don't know whether you hit her when you got into the house.
I'll explain to you exactly the events preceding that incident.
Your Honor, we have 2 separate police reports for domestic violence.
We have
and a
one
restraining order
police
that was
report.
put on against him.
Was there
for
ever a
my
trial
protection.
on that restraining order?
Yes, there was.
And what happened to it?
And what happened to it?
Today, that case was settled and dropped, plead out.
What do you mean, settle, drop, plead out? What does that mean?
I pleaded no contest to 1 count of battery.
Does that have to do with this incident?
It has to do with the incident where I pushed my wife away from a front door for not taking our personal life into a hallway.
Was that at her friend's house? Just
Yes.
a second.
Yes.
This is the incident at the friend's house.
Yes, let me...
Let me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll ask you to fill in so that there is some semblance here. According to your answer, she had gone over to her friend Lori's house, right? And this was after she had disappeared for a few days.
No, that's...
She had already disappeared. There were periods of time, according to your answer, sir, that she had left you in care to care for your daughter.
Yes.
And you were afraid that when she went to Lori's house and didn't come home right away, that she was going to do it again.
Well, let me explain a little bit earlier in the evening. It was that very morning that I was late for work. My wife came home at 6:30, where I would have had to have left at 10 of 6 to make it to work. She knows this. We've had many, many fights about it. It's when she showed up with Lori, I did go like this in anger, not to hit her, but just as a show. I'm this angry. How could you do this to me again? That very night, when I came home from work, Lori and Jen and Aubrey were there in the house. They said, we're going to take Aubrey out and get some shoes. They left. They came back at 7:30 p.m. while I was watching TV. My daughter comes through the front door crying. But my wife did not come through the door. I opened up the front door, and my wife was at the bottom of the stairs and says to me, I'm going to the car for a minute. 5 minutes later, she didn't come back from the car, and the car was gone. It's at that time that I assumed she probably went back over to Lori's. I drove over there with my daughter, and that's where she was. I found that that was kind of peculiar.
You weren't screaming your head off.
I wasn't screaming at anything.
Mr. Trumbley.
Yes. May I continue?
No. Because while I can smell a drug problem from at least 15 feet away, and she has a drug problem.
Yes, that's true.
Based upon my assessment of her demeanor and based upon the things that she has said to me so far, I have some trouble with your response. And let me tell you why, sir.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm just a hardworking guy. I have no record. I've never been expelled from school. I'm nothing but a decent guy that was raised the right way.
And later today,
you came in with your girlfriend, Christina,
Girlfriend?
who now lives with you.
I'm going to have him live with me?
Who is your lover? Admit it, okay?
Okay.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Russell Trombley denies his wife Jennifer's allegations of abuse and claims she's guilty of neglecting their daughter.
You have a 2-year-old daughter. You say you know your wife has a current drug problem.
Yes.
If your wife has a current drug problem, I don't care what you have to do, you make sure that your wife is never left in charge of your child. You didn't do that. What you wanted her to do was to be around to take care of your daughter. Just a second. And I don't care if you have to get a babysitter. I don't care if you have to quit your job. I don't care what you have to do. You do not leave a drug user in charge of a 2-year-old baby, and I don't care if the drug user is your wife. Number one. You understand that?
Yes, I do.
Number two. According to your answer, sir, you went over to the house, to this Lori's house, because you didn't want to be in the position again of having to look for somebody to take care of your daughter when you had to go to work the next morning and you had an early morning call. Is that right?
Yes. We've exhausted all of our daycare issues. My wife left our daycare with a $300 bill that we owed them.
Sir.
We had no one else. We have no relatives here.
So let me tell you this. There are many people, unfortunately, in your position whose mate, whether it be a husband or a wife, has a drug addiction problem. You're supposed to try to be supportive of each other if you can, but at that point, there is only one innocent. And that innocent is a child, especially a 2-year-old child that cannot protect herself. So at that point, you can't worry about her anymore. She's got a drug problem and hangs around with Mork or whatever his name is,
Morbid.
Dork. Those are the kind of people that you hang around with if you've got a drug problem.
That's all she hangs out with.
Drug dealers.
All drug dealers. That's everybody she knows.
Well, then, sir, if you allow your daughter to hang around with her and to hang around with drug dealers, then you are as guilty of neglect as she is. Do you understand me? My eyes.
With all due respect, Judge,
Yeah.
these are events that have only come to my knowledge within the last couple of months. All of these things have been hidden and lied about.
Sir, during that time, during that couple of month period, you still left your daughter in your wife's care.
But I was only doing that on the premise that she was over at her friend's house. I didn't know that there was drugs involved at that night.
Trombley, you can't have it both ways. We understand each other. You cannot have it both ways.
There was not at any point that I felt my daughter was in danger from my wife.
I'm telling you that it's not true. What I'm telling you is, if you are mated to a drug user who cavorts with other drug users and abusers and dealers, you are a neglectful parent if you leave a 2-year-old child with her.
I was doing everything I could.
All right.
ma'am.
So, let me get to your cross complaint, because I'm going to take care of this nonsense right away. You say that she spent a lot of your family money?
She spent all of our money.
Good. That's what happens. It's a very good idea for you to get out of this marriage, to take charge of your daughter, and to start building a life with her, if that's what you think that you can do. Do you understand?
Yeah, that's everything I'm seeking and aiming for. But
very good.
These are the events that handle our lives every day, though. While I'm trying to litigate this, I am being forced to move out of California, forced to give up my dreams, forced to give up my career.
That's very sad. You made a mistake. That's what happens when people make a mistake.
I made a grand mistake, and my pleas...
That's what happens when you make a mistake.
I understand that.
Good.
But understand, Judge, that I have pleaded and begged my wife to get drug counseling, to stop fraternizing with these people.
This case is dismissed. The counterclaim is dismissed. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
I want to get as far away from this woman as I can. I believe she's nothing but pure evil and will not help herself. I don't think there's any saving her.
And now the next case.
Parties on Silvas versus Boga. Step forward.
70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger, a woman he says was his lover and bride-to-be. According to Frank, when their plans to move in together fell through, Christina kept his furniture. But Christina says she and Frank were never boyfriend and girlfriend, and the furniture was a gift.
Mr. Silvas, according to your papers, sir, you are a recent widower.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were married to your wife for 45 years?
No, 41.
41 years. Shortly after her death, you met the defendant.
Right, but 18 months after.
And she was selling some sort of electrical
Well, the
bed?
night before I met her, somebody called the house was to make an appointment to sell mattresses. And I told the gentleman, says, I'm not going to buy one. He said, well, we got a new sales person. He didn't tell me it was a male or a female, you know.
Cut to the chase.
Okay.
She came to sell you a new mattress.
Right.
And according to your complaint, sold you a lot more.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I slept with her about three or four different times. In fact, we went to Laughlin. First time we went to Laughlin.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 70-year-old Frank Silvas is suing 33-year-old Christina Boger because he claims she kept his furniture when their romance ended.
Over the course of several months,
Almost a year.
you gave her a lot of money.
Right.
According to your papers, gave her loans of over $30,000.
Right.
But you know that you can't get that here.
Right.
What you're suing for here is a return of your furniture.
Yes, ma'am.
So
yes,
tell me how she came to have your furniture in her possession.
Okay, when her roommate moved out, I was supposed to, move in, see? So, I says, well, we'll take my furniture up there to sell my house. Then she kept putting the dates off,
What dates?
That I was supposed to move in. But prior to that, Your Honor, she said she would marry me.
Did you ask her to marry you?
Yes, and she kept putting that off.
Okay. So you asked her to marry you. When did you ask her to marry you?
Before the first of the year, first time.
And what did she say?
She says, I don't know you that good, let's wait a while.
So what happened? The romance is clearly over.
Well, I got evidence right here. that really turned me off, she came into my house, took 2 blank checks and forged them. One for 1,000, one for 350. Then she came back into the house and grabbed those 2 checks and burned them up. That's what she told me. She burned them. But I got copies from the bank. I got the police report on each one of them.
When do you say she did this?
I didn't find out about it till May, actually, Your Honor, when I got my bank statements.
How come he gave you this money?
Well,
I assume you're going to tell me he gave you the money.
Yes, he plays a victim well. He was always there to be very helpful to me, and was there to volunteer anytime I needed something. We started up a business together. This money that he's talking about that he lent to me was based on this business we started together, and any money that he gave me was to help me get this business up and going, and he was, in return, got a percentage of this business.
Just a second. Did he get anything in return?
Yes, when he was doing his job.
Just a minute. What did he get in return?
He got a percentage of the business, which was 10%.
How much does that translate to in cash?
About $600-700 in cash.
So he invested thousands and he got $600-700.
Let me explain something though. He stopped doing the business, and ultimately the business fell. It's not even in existence now because he wouldn't give me the information so I can continue to run this business. He kept it.
He gave you a lot of money, madam. I have checks here. A lot of money.
Okay.
A lot.
Your Honor, he's 69 years old. I'm 30. This man's got 45 years on me. He decides to give me money or do what he decides to do. You think he'd have... It's all been his choice. It's all been his choice from the beginning to do these things. Frank did everything.
Did you at any time discuss with him getting married?
No, he discussed it with me.
When for the first time?
He asked me to marry him so many times, I couldn't tell you. It was literally the first time, 60 days after I knew him, was the first time he asked me to marry him.
And what did you say to him?
I said, no, I don't know you well enough. And he was a heavy drinker, and I have a baby, and there's a big age difference. And I told him, I said, no, I think
a big age difference is 40 years. You know, a big age difference is 7 years, 8 years, 10 years. 40 years is a big age difference. Did you ever say to him, no, sir, you're too old and I'm not going to be involved with you romantically?
I never said he was too old. The age difference was a concern, but it was his drinking that was more of a concern to me.
But that didn't stop you from taking money from him.
For the business, we were business partners.
I'm not talking about the business. So far, the business he got a couple $100 from, if I believe you, and he put in thousands according to these checks. And it's not made out to a business. It's made out directly to you, and you cash the checks. It's not made out to a business account. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. But I'm telling you now, don't piddle on my leg and tell me it's raining, madam. I'm too smart for you. Do you understand? Do you understand? If you took money from him because he was prepared to give it to you and you were prepared to take it, that's one thing. He's not suing you for the money. Yet. So don't give me any baloney about business. Business checks, if they're made to a business, they're put in a business name. Your business, I assume, had a name. Right? Mm-hmm. What was the name of the business?
Well, we were Banks and Associates.
So if he was lending money to the business, it would have been business checks, not payable to you.
Okay, when I came to him and discussed certain things with him, he was there to help me. He said, whatever you need, I'm here to help you. I asked him what he wanted in return. He said, just to be close to you, to be your friend. And I said that was fine. He could write me a check, and I could do whatever I wanted with it if he chose to give it to me.
Right, so you used them. Now, let's talk about the furniture.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
I want to know if the following things are in your home, madam. Butcher block.
Pardon me?
Show this to her, please. Are those things in your home?
Yes, they are.
Good. Can I have it, please? Court will draft an order that within 3 days of today, all those items will be picked up and returned to Mr. Silvas. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. All of them. And they better be in the same condition that they were when he gave them to you. Do you understand that? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you very much. That's all.
Thank you,
Parties
Your
are
Honor.
excused. You may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy,
Was in
You
my
used
driveway.
this guy, okay? He was in love
Right.
with you, and you used
I
him.
used him, right? But
okay?
he'll never tell
and you. Had
guys.
your lover move in
You're right.
with
You know what? You're all right.
Whose
This
bed are
report-
you sleeping in, Christina?
This has nothing. This
Okay.
doesn't. My God, you
That's
guys
all I
are.
wanna
You guys
say.
are petty.
I slept over there about three or four different times. In fact, we went to Laughlin. First time we went to Laughlin.
She always promised me that she would leave me her car.
Grandma passed away, and the family is fighting over her Thunderbird.
Nothing was said till after the funeral.
We found everything except for her will.
Is there another will, sir?
There's wills floating all over this place.
You must have had a hot grandmother. She liked Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Cox versus Tagliavore. Step forward, please.
20-year-old Wendy Cox is suing her uncle, 50-year-old Joseph Tagliavore. Wendy says before her grandmother died, she promised Wendy she could have her 1991 Ford Thunderbird. Joseph says the car should be sold and the money divided equally between him and his siblings.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Your Honor, this is number 178 on the calendar in the matter of Cox versus Tagliavore. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Miss Cox, this is your uncle.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Joe's wife.
Your grandmother, your mother, passed away.
Yes.
According to your complaint, your grandmother, with whom you enjoyed a lovely relationship, promised you
Her vehicle, of whichever it may be when she passed away, which is a 91 Thunderbird.
When did she make this promise to you?
This was, she had an 88 Thunderbird, I think it was 88 or 89, which my other aunt had received, and at the time I just turned 16, and she promised me then the white Thunderbird, which went to my aunt who also has children and needed a vehicle. So she always promised me that she would leave me her car.
You must have had a hot grandmother. She liked Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
So she passed away recently. According to your complaint, the only signed will makes no mention of that bequest.
No. It was also done in '77.
Could I bring up something, Your Honor?
You, sir, are the executor of the estate.
Yes, according to the signed will, yes.
And is there another will, sir?
Yes. This is a will that we received from a attorney that said that from the discussion I had with my sister, Deborah, which is Wendy's mother, that he had told her that...
Just, you can't tell me all these things. This is all hearsay. You received another will.
Yes.
That is unsigned.
That's the will.
Okay, and this was executed in 1992.
Yes.
All right, so let me understand this. We have a 1977 will which makes no mention, that is signed,
Yes.
and makes no mention of this car bequest. Then you have a 1992 will, which according to the plaintiff does discuss the car.
Yes.
Let me just take a look at it. Mr. Tagliavore, were you satisfied that your mother had, in fact, in 1992, had a change of heart, despite the fact that you didn't sign this will?
Yes, I didn't know it. Yes.
Could you sit down, please? Just sit down. The answer is yes. Evidently there was some dispute that your mother had with somebody else, and she, in fact, changed her will.
Yes.
But did not sign it.
As far as I know.
As far as you know, didn't sign it.
Right.
Is there anything that you know about that I haven't said yet?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In the hospital when my grandmother was dying, my husband, my mother, my uncle Bill, and her other son, and my mother, the executor on the second will. She was telling us that her phone book, bank receipts, her will, stuff for her funeral, everything was in her briefcase. We found everything except for her will, which then in her phone book, in 2 different spots, it is noted, Opendahl, the one that drew up the second will, is her attorney has her will. That's how they found him. This is her phone book.
It says in that, attorney has will.
Has will.
Fine.
And I also have a letter from the attorney saying that he was the one that drew it up, and no, she never signed it, that it was her right to be able to take her copy with her, and it was up to her.
Ms. Cox, so then what I'm saying is accurate. Let's put this in order. We have a signed 1977 will, which you acknowledge does not make any bequest of this car to you. Were you born in 1977?
I was born in 76.
Okay, so you were a year old. She wouldn't have left you a car.
No.
Later, you both agree that your mother and your grandmother had the intention of changing her will to leave you the car, but she never fully executed the will, which means she did not have it signed and witnessed. That's according to you, madam, because you just told me that in her papers, in her book, it says attorney has the will. And if this is the will that you got from the attorney, it is unsigned, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here we have the problem.
This is a copy of the will from 1977.
I'll take a look at it. Mr. Tagliavore,
That's where
listen
I got
to me.
the address.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you were very honest with me a moment ago. I assume that you love your mother and you know in your heart that she may have not been good at executing this 1992 will, but that was her intention, that your niece have this car.
My mother spoke to me in '96 in November.
Who are you?
I'm her daughter also. She called me in Kentucky, was calling me, and I brought up my will, she brought up her will. Nothing was ever mentioned. She said, I have 6 kids, if there should be anything left, be divided equally. Nothing was ever mentioned once. Wendy didn't know, none of us kids knew that this other will existed. Mom never mentioned to not a one of us.
Fine, but it does exist.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I didn't care if I lost the car or not. It was
Come
a
on,
simple.
Wendy, come
you don't
on.
know. You do not know,
I
Joy.
know. You
no,
put
you
us
do not
through
know.
hell.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wendy Cox says her grandmother promised she could have her Ford Thunderbird after she died. But Wendy's uncle, Joseph Tagliavore, claims his mother's will says all of her possessions are to be divided between him and his siblings.
How much property did your mother leave?
The automobile was it, basically.
If you went to sell, sir, a 1991 Thunderbird, how much do you think you could get for it?
5,000 maybe.
Maybe.
6, maybe. Depending on what kind of shape it was in.
Okay, well, what kind of shape is it in?
It's in very good shape.
Okay,
Low
so let's say,
mileage.
and there are 5 kids?
6.
6 kids. So let's make it easy for this old judge, because I'm not real good in math, as Bird can tell you. So let's say you can sell the car for $6,000. So everybody gets $1,000, right?
Right.
The laws in every jurisdiction require a will to be executed in a certain fashion. So we're talking here about a situation where the law, Ms. Cox, in this and practically every jurisdiction in this country requires that a will and any subsequent change of the will be signed and witnessed. Correct? On the other hand, we're talking about whatever is morally right with regard to this car. I believe that you two people know that it was your mother's intention for her granddaughter to have this car, for whatever reason. I'm sure she has a lot of other grandchildren, but that's what she intended, for this car to go to this grandchild.
Well,
We're not talking about a lot of money here, Mr. Tagliavore. We're talking about at most $6,000 or $1,000 per person who would tend to inherit the money. So maybe we can come up with some way of being fair to your mother's wishes and also being fair to you, consistent with this will, which is unsigned.
Your Honor, I also
What?
have a letter from that attorney.
So what? I don't need the attorney. They don't dispute that. Ms. Cox, relax.
Okay, but
Relax. They don't dispute
no,
that this...
I was just wondering if that would be. I know it's not signed. I'm just wondering if he
No,
can't
I
be a
don't read
witness,
letters
can
from
he?
attorneys. If you want a witness here, you have to have a witness here. What I started to say to you is perhaps we can come up with something that is fair, reasonably fair to each side. Would it be fair for Ms. Cox to have use of this car until she decides to sell it, and when she decides to sell it, the proceeds of the sale of that car distributed among the 6 of you? So that in some way, the last wishes of your mother would be honored. Would that be reasonable?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Well, I'm telling you, sir.
You don't understand the whole story, I don't believe.
Well, I'll listen to the whole story.
This started years ago when my mother first told me. She told me, you make sure that you take care of your brother James, which is on that will.
In 1977.
Long before then.
But
if anything happened to her, she said, you make sure that he gets his share of whatever is left because he will not take care of it himself. The money would mean a lot to him. It doesn't mean anything to me. My sister, nobody else in the family, you know, $1,000, like you say, is not much money.
so what's James's problem?
He's like one step from homeless, pretty much.
Is there something physically wrong with him, or does he have an alcohol or a drug problem?
No, he's partially disabled. He lives on state aid and stuff like that.
So he has money from Social Security disability.
Right. Which is not much.
I understand that.
$1,000 to him is a lot of money. And this is a promise I made to my mother. And then when this thing all started, as far as I was concerned, I thought my sister was supposed to be executor of this will, and this was all taken care of. She comes after my mother passes away. All the children come to my house. They say, we want you to take care of this. I told Mom in 1995 I wanted to be taken off as executor of the will. I didn't want to have anything to do with it. This was all news to me. So I agreed to do it. Then we started searching and finding stuff. Now this has turned into a total nightmare, and I'm the bad guy when the only thing I say there that is legally binding is that I have to do what the signed will says to do. Now this is all the argument. This is all the bull that I have got from my family.
Sure, because
for doing what I was told to do by the law and asked to do by my siblings.
Well, you're right, Mr. Tagliavore. You, unfortunately, are placed in that responsibility because it's not just you, but you have 5 siblings that you have to deal with,
Right,
too.
and my sister Paula says there's another will that leaves her the car. An orthographic will that she cannot find witnesses to. There's wills floating all over this place. But
Listen,
none of them are signed
there are a lot of
except
wills,
for
but no
one.
property.
Right.
You know, a lot of wills, but one old
And there's
Thunderbird.
nothing but a car.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I did not want
Sure
to sue
you
him.
did, Wendy.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You don't
Yes,
know
you
me,
did.
Joy. You do not know me. This was the man I thought was my grandfather,
I've seen your
okay?
action.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Wendy Cox is suing her uncle, Joseph Tagliavore, over her grandmother's will.
So I would assume
So-
that you cannot speak for your whole family.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. What do you want to say?
It's funny that Mother never said anything to anybody, not even to Wendy or Debbie. Nothing was said till after the funeral. I mean, she didn't say anything.
No.
Wendy
Who
never
didn't,
said anything.
just a second. Who didn't say anything?
Wendy didn't say nothing. Debbie didn't say nothing. Mom never said nothing.
Listen
that she
to
wanted
me,
Wendy to have the car.
Listen to me, madam.
And I talked to her.
Listen to me.
Okay. I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever you want.
It doesn't. Let me tell you why it doesn't matter.
It upsets me.
Let me tell you why it doesn't matter. Very often when somebody is ill, or even before they're ill, when they are distributing their property by way of a will, and they don't want to create bad feeling while they're alive, they don't want one child to be angry with them or another child or a grandchild to be angry with them, they won't discuss what they're leaving in their will because they figure, when I'm dead, it don't make any difference. So they will not tell their children. Do you have children?
Mm-hmm.
You have children. Would you have felt badly when you spoke to your mother if your mother said to you, I'm leaving Wendy, my only possession, my car? You would have been annoyed with your mother.
I wouldn't.
Sure you would have. And your kids and your children would have been annoyed. Why is Grandma just leaving? Is she the favorite? Why is Grandma just leaving Wendy the car and I don't get anything? Does that sound possible to you?
Well, if it's yes, possible, but if it's her wishes. Mom wasn't shy.
You don't, it's not a question of being shy. No. It's a question of not having your kids or your grandchildren annoyed with you while you're here to experience the feeling. Mm-hmm. Once you're gone, you're gone. Ms. Cox, you understand you have a problem.
Yeah.
And your problem is that even under the common law, which forms the basis of every law of every jurisdiction, a last will and testament was required to have some sort of a writing, at least signed by the, we call them the testator or the testatrix, that means the deceased. The only signed will that exists here that I see is one that was made in 1977. It doesn't make any mention of a car to you. Your uncle is not a bad guy. If he did anything else with this car, but do what it says to do in the original will, which is dispose of all my property equally among my children, he could be sued by the other siblings for a violation of his duties as executor of the will.
Thank you.
Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's unreasonable. That's unreasonable. I can't permit that to happen. My sense is he would like to do the right thing. But unless all of the siblings together say, you can turn the car over to Wendy because that's what Mom wanted, he can't do that. Do you understand? What I think is too bad is that if all the siblings understand that this was Mom's request, and all we're talking about really is $1,000 that you were concerned about for James, because that would mean a lot to him. Well, maybe Wendy here would say, I'll give James $1,000, give me the car.
My mother, the executor on the second will, which my uncle is not even in.
There's no second will.
No, but
Wendy,
I know. Okay,
there's no second will.
All right, but my mom did agree to do that. My mom was willing to give my Uncle James $1,000 to make sure he was taken care of because she loves her brother. It has nothing to do with the Thunderbird.
This is a very good lesson to everybody.
This is ridiculous.
It's a very good lesson to everybody. None of us feel that tomorrow is our last day, so we all tend to put off taking care of business, which keeps things orderly and organized in our lives and prevents this kind of thing happening to a family. Usually when these kinds of things happen within a family, when somebody dies, you're talking about a lot of money. It's absolutely outrageous to me that this is doing this to a family when you're talking about a car, which is the only asset that your mother had. So people who don't take care of their business by keeping abreast of what property they have and how they want to dispose of it and making clear dispositions of that property before they die are not doing their families a favor.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Morally, Wendy, I believe that you are correct that your grandmother wanted you to have this car. Legally, you cannot establish that to me. Moreover, I honestly believe, after speaking to your uncle, that if he had his druthers, he would give you this car. If it was a question of, listen, either the car is mine or it's Wendy's, he would say, you can have the car. He is not in that position. He stands in what we call a fiduciary relationship to his other siblings. He represents them. Unless there is a unity of spirit in that among those 6 siblings, unless all of them say, give Wendy the car, despite the fact that that's not what your signed will says, he can be sued by them, and it ends up costing him $5,000 or $6,000, probably more with attorney's fees, because he'd have to hire an attorney to defend himself, and you would maybe get the car. So don't blame him. It's not his fault. It's really, unfortunately, your grandmother's fault, because she did not take care of business when she could have in 1992 by signing this will and having a fully executed copy. So this lawsuit is dismissed. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
On the next Judge Judy.
I didn't care if I lost the car or not. It was
Come
a
on,
simple.
Wendy, come
you don't
on.
know. You do not know.
I know.
Joy.
You
no,
put
you
us
do not
through
know.
hell.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
He imported a mail-order bride,
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
but her phone calls made him broke.
Your child bride called her mother a lot. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
That's true. Even taking the phone off the line.
You married a baby.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Lowe versus Lowe. Step forward, please.
45-year-old Thomas Lowe says he met his 23-year-old Filipino wife, Arlene Rowe, when he answered an ad in an international dating magazine. Thomas says when his new bride came to live with him in the United States, she charged a fortune in long-distance phone calls back to the Philippines. The marriage ended in divorce, and now he wants her to pay the phone bill.
Order. All rise. Your Honor, this is number 173 on the calendar in the matter of Lowe versus Lowe. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
This is your former wife.
Yes.
And while usually the background of a couple's courtship, etc., is usually not germane to the issues of the case, I think that in this case it is. How did you meet your wife, sir?
Through correspondence. A friend of mine told me that about it. He had met a wife overseas, and I tried it myself, and I wrote to Arlene, and she wrote back to me.
How did you get her name to write to her?
It was through a magazine that this gentleman informed me of. His name was Cherry Blossoms, and I wrote to her there, and several other ladies too.
Did you advertise in this magazine?
My friend advertised me in there.
Your friend advertised for you? Okay. So you began to correspond, and then what happened?
She said she was about to go overseas to take a job, and at that particular time, we had been corresponding for a year. And
Where was she living at the time?
In the Philippines. And I told her I was going to come to see her and not to go, that I asked her to marry me, and she agreed.
This was before you met her?
We had been corresponding. I told her I was going to go see her,
But before you met her, you told her that you wanted to marry her?
Yes, and that's why I was going to the Philippines to see her.
You wanted to marry him?
Yeah, but before he told me about that, I supposed to have like my visa is already ready. Then I told him I have to go because I have my responsibility for my sister. So he told me, and he called to my mom, and he talked to my dad. Then he told to my dad that tell him not to go. I will be responsible for all his her responsibility.
For all of your
my visa
expenses.
is ready already. Then he told me to not to go.
How old are you?
I'm 23 right now.
How old are you?
45.
How old was she when you began this correspondence, Mr. Lowe?
I do believe she was 20.
Didn't you think she was a little young for you?
Oh, yes, I wrote and told her so. And she wrote back and told me no, she wasn't.
Well, you should have been older and wiser, sir.
Yes.
Because the thrust of your complaint is that while you're divorced now, she ran up phone bills in the amount of $3,400 to her mother.
Yes.
But he used my mom. He used, before that, he told to my mom and my sister because he's working with him.
You mean your family was working with him?
Yeah, they're working with him.
What kind
so
of
that's
work?
Why, because they have a correspondence. We have correspondence businesses. Then, like, my mom was the one who's handling his business in the Philippines.
What kind of business?
It's like correspondence services.
Correspondence services?
Yes,
what
ma'am.
kind of correspondence services?
It's called Romance International.
What?
It's called Romance International. I developed my own service and run it on the internet.
Romance International.
Yes, run it on the internet. But, Your Honor, I did not call them for that. I sent them the pamphlets and everything in the mail.
But he told me it's okay to call to my mom. And like, you accept not only my mom, you accept the collect calls from your agent that I talk to them.
Miss Lowe, did you talk to your mother a lot?
Yeah, I talked to my mom.
Did you talk to her for a long time?
No.
When you would call her or when she would call you collect to talk to you, just stay on the phone for a half hour? Sometimes longer?
Yeah. If I talk to him, if I talk to my mom, he talked to...
But mostly you talk to her?
Yes.
What happened when you started to get these big phone bills? Did he complain?
Yeah, he told me, but I paid for the phone bill when I started working. Then he told me I didn't pay for it. The first salary that I got from here, I pay for his phone bill. But he don't give me any money.
Mr. Lowe.
Yes.
What makes you think that I should order her to pay you money for this phone bill?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, she agreed when I was first initially going to take the phone out to pay for just the international phone calls. I didn't ask her to pay for anything else. Just her phone calls and calls she made to the psychic for $195. That was all she was supposed to pay for. I gave her money every week, which I have records of, that went to the bank, which was taken out in the Philippines. So money was given to them every week for her responsibility, even when I was not married to her. When she agreed to marry me, I took care of her responsibilities in the Philippines. But in order to keep the phone on, she promised to pay just the international phone bills. That's all I asked. She never had to pay any other bills at the house.
Okay, so she didn't. So you got a divorce?
Yes. Well, no, the problem with the divorce was I wanted to move to Brentwood, and mother told her no, she couldn't move to Brentwood with me, and she had to work her $4.25 an hour job. I was trying to get her a job paying $12 an hour, $15 an hour. I was ready to send her to school. I had taken out a $28,000 loan to take her to school, and the mother told her she couldn't go to school. She had to work.
No, my mom didn't told that. You want me to send to school. Then, like, when they interview me, then they told me I have to study like three years to pay $38,000. But you told them that, okay, after you finish your school, you're gonna pay me. I have to pay that for the rest of my life for $38,000.
So what you did you tell her that she was going to have to pay back the tuition?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Lowe.
The whole thing was I would have taken out the loan for the thing, and I was very willing to do that.
Mr. Lowe, you married a baby.
Your Honor, when I first married her, she did not strike me as a baby.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
In my untrained eyes, sir, this looks like a May-December romance.
Yes.
Did you ever hear that expression?
Yes.
And sometimes men marry women and they're very extravagant. They go out and they spend all their husband's money on jewelry and furs and manicures and pedicures and hats. Do women still buy hats? No.
Yeah,
No.
they do.
Your child bride called her mother a lot.
No, her mother called her.
Or her mother called her a lot. Because she evidently needed to talk to her family, very far away from her family. That's what happens when you marry somebody who's very young.
No, Your Honor, the reason they called was because her family kept getting into financial problems.
But you know that. You already know all my responsibilities.
Listen, Miss Lowe, I gather from your answer that you feel as if you have a very strong responsibility to family, even your family in the Philippines. What's supposed to happen when you get married is you're not supposed to necessarily lose that allegiance to your family, but you and your husband create your own unit. You have a mother in the Philippines, you have a father in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Yes? You have sisters?
Yes.
You have brothers?
Yes.
They're supposed to take care of themselves. That's not his responsibility.
Yeah, he told me that's not his responsibility.
It's not.
Like,
And it's not your responsibility. You're a baby, 20 years old. You got a mother, your father, brothers, sisters, everybody else in the Philippines. All of a sudden, because you got married, you married somebody who maybe had an extra couple of bucks, that doesn't make your family in the Philippines your financial responsibility. When you're married, this is your financial responsibility, but you're not married anymore. I'm just telling you that for the future, because otherwise you're going to be a very unhappy lady the next time you get married. You can't.
I didn't tell him to responsibility for my family. I told him I have to send my sister on school. So that's my responsibility.
Why do you have to send your sister to school?
Because I'm the second to the eldest.
And what about your mother and father?
They work a lot for my brothers and sisters. And like that time, my father are sick, so I have to go to work.
So
and
what
like
you're
he
telling
knows
me is
all of that.
So what you're telling me is that you had to work here and send money back to your family in the Philippines? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I came here, I asked to his wife, to be his wife. I came here 6 months. I worked for him. In American Embassy, he told that even I came here, I still receive any salary from his business, but I don't get any single penny. He gave me $10, $20. The first time he gave me is $20. And the last one before we leave, he gave me only $10. And like he told me, I always stay in the house. I work for him, I work for his business. I only sleep for 4 hours to work in his business. Then like, I don't get anything. I clean the house, I do everything. And like I told him, he have 1 week salary for $1,000 or $2,000. Then I work for 2 weeks to $200, $300. But I give him all my first salary. So I told him, did I ask you any money from your salary? I didn't even touch your money. Even we have joint account.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Arlene Rose says when she came from the Philippines to marry Thomas, a man she met by placing an ad in a dating magazine, he treated her horribly and quickly divorced her. Now he's suing her for long-distance phone calls she made to her family.
Mr. Lowe, you made a mistake.
Yes.
I believe that your former wife probably made a mistake. Is it your intention to go back to the Philippines? Or are you going to stay here in the United States?
I have to move on to my life. That's all I want.
So what do you want to do? Where do you want to live?
I have to settle all my problem here.
What kind of problems do you have here, Miss Lowe? Other than this one. This one is I'm going to make a non-problem for you. What other problems do you have?
About the status I have.
You mean your visa status?
Yes, Mom.
Do you want to stay in the United States or do you want to go home to the Philippines?
I don't know if I can survive. Maybe I'll survive because I work for 2 jobs. I work 7 days.
You work 2 jobs now?
Yes, Mom.
You send money home to your family?
Sometimes. But I have to settle all my bills.
What other bills do you have?
I have to pay for my lawyer.
Which lawyer?
I have to pay for my car and my insurance.
What lawyer do you have to pay for?
For my case.
You mean for your immigration case?
Yes, Mom.
Are you okay financially, Mr. Lowe?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
You think
well, actually, no, Your Honor. I've got, from our marriage, we've got major bills. We've got about $24,000 in back debt.
For what?
Some of it, a lot of it is mine. Then there's $9,000 between the tax stuff that I put off to help her family when I gave her money to help her family, $3,000, and put off paying taxes that I was supposed to pay the taxes
That's
with.
your problem. That's your problem.
Yes.
Mr. Lowe. I don't think she was, except for her phone bills, I don't think she was a very expensive lady to keep. Right?
No, Your Honor. I paid her a salary every week, and the records show I was putting $180 to $200 a week for her to send back home, and I have records for that.
Did you send back that money home?
No, because he owed my mom's money. Because when he sent some money from me, he told me that's my allowance as his wife. But I spent that money on his business. I told him about that.
Mr. Lowe, who initiated the divorce proceedings here in California?
She left the house, so I tried to reconcile with her. I initiated the divorce proceedings.
You got it. See how fast he's a quick study. And did you have anything in the divorce proceedings about this $3,400 debt?
Yes, Your Honor.
And
She
what
agreed
was
to
that?
pay for it. It's
Where-
a marital agreement.
Do you have that in writing?
Yes.
Can I see it, please?
This is the one.
Oh, she has it.
Oh, jeez.
When he gave that papers, he already signed the papers. Then the one that he told that to sign it, and I bring it to my lawyer, the second agreement. Because he changed the agreement that it says $3,400 to pay for 30 days. Then he want me to sign that papers.
Just a second. Is there another paper?
Yeah, we have
Your Honor,
another.
because of the first, we had the first original marriage agreement, and it wasn't notarized. That's why I have to come here now. And because it wasn't notarized, I had to get a second agreement done. I took that to her job. She said she had to go see her lawyer again with that. She never came back with that. We were forced to use the first agreement.
Let me see your judgment of divorce, sir.
This one.
She has it.
I want to see if it refers to the settlement agreement. Oh.
The first agreement wasn't notarized, Your Honor. That's why they could not use that agreement in the court. That's why I had to come to small claims court, because it wasn't notarized before the first of the year.
But Mr. Lowe, you have to understand something, sir. I like to see the right thing happen at the end of a case, because that's what I think that's supposed to happen in court. And if you show me an agreement and you say it's incorporated in your judgment to divorce, I have no choice, and I've explained that to your wife. I have no choice but to give you your judgment for $3,400, even though I don't feel good about it. I don't think she's, I don't think she's stupid, but I think that she was vulnerable, certainly more vulnerable than you are. So I feel sort of badly about having to make a judgment against her for $3,400, considering that she works 2 jobs and trying to maintain herself and send money home for her sister to go to school. I mean, that's hard. But now I have an out. Whew.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
You say here, sir, we have no community assets or liabilities.
The second, yeah.
That's what it says here.
Community assets liability, yes.
That's what it says. You have no community assets or liabilities.
That was before, when we first signed that agreement, that was before all the taxes came. So that's when we tried to make the second agreement.
This is dated November 7th.
Yes.
This is dated in October.
Yes, I could not use the first one.
You can't use it.
That's because it wasn't notarized.
So it wasn't notarized, so what am I supposed to do?
That's why when I went to court, the judge said if I wanted to settle this, I had to then take her to small claims court.
Okay, so it's not part of the judgment of divorce, so I'm not bound by another court's ruling.
No,
that
you're
it's
not.
part of another. All right, then that's very easy. Mr. Lowe, your wife is 23 years old?
Yes, Mom.
You're 45 years old. You're a man of the world. She's not. She was extravagant in the way she made phone calls. You have money, not a lot, probably, but certainly more than she does.
Yes,
That be a fair statement? I'm not going to burden her with another debt of $3,400. This case is dismissed.
Is that excused? You may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy.
It's terrible. My sex is terrible, and I don't have experience on bed. That's why.
Told her I would take her to see doctors if she wanted to talk to them with counseling. I had a Filipino sex therapist that was on the internet that I also had her in contact with. I did everything possible to help her overcome that part of her not knowing, being that familiar with what was supposed to be going on in the bedroom. I was very patient with her with that. I figured we had plenty of time. After all, we're both Catholic. We had married in the church. I figured we had plenty of time to solve that.
I'm trying to be good in sex, but it takes time. Not only 1 year, 2 years, but because I never had sex with anyone. If I have, maybe I'll be good, but I'm not. He already destroyed my life.
I told him not to buy me a car because I knew that there would be something else expected.
You mean something physical?
Yes.
He hired her from an adult entertainment service and liked her so much, he bought her a car.
He would stand at my door and force me to kiss him goodbye.
If you think that I believe that you're a nice young woman, you're mistaken.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
All parties on Strews versus Scherzer. Step forward, please.
44-year-old Joseph Strews is suing 29-year-old Robin Scherzer, a woman he met while she was performing as an exotic dancer. Joseph claims he loaned Robin money to purchase a car and expected to be paid back. Robin says the car was a gift and she owes Joseph nothing.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Your Honor, this is case number 181 in the matter of Strews versus Scherzer. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Sir, you allege in your complaint that you made a loan to the defendant of $1,600 for the purpose of buying a used car.
Yes, Your Honor.
She says it was a gift.
She's wrong.
So why don't you tell me what prompted you to lend this young woman $1,600 to buy a car?
Well, Your Honor, I met the defendant in June. I think you've read the statement, and I have a little problem with wanting to help girls out, and I admit that, but she had her car repossessed by her mother earlier, and she wanted to get out of the job that she was doing at the time that I met her, so she needed an automobile to gain employment as a personal assistant. So at the time I had enough money, and we were becoming friends and casually dating, so I offered to loan her the $1,600.
What did you say? Tell me exactly what you said and what she said.
I told her that I had the money and that I would help her with the purchase of the car. She told me that she insisted that she would pay me in October for whatever the loan for the car was. And I discussed the price with her. I said, what can you afford? Anywhere from $1,000, $2,000. We were looking at cars. And like I said, we found a car through a friend of mine that is an automobile broker, and she was pleased with the car that we had found. And
what kind of car was it?
It was a 1987 Audi 4000, Your Honor.
Okay, so you both went and saw the car together.
Yes, we did. We looked at 2 cars previous to that, and Robin was not happy with those cars, so I asked my friend to...
this is the friend?
This is the friend, Miss Moore. And I asked her to keep looking for a car that would be suitable for Robin, And when we found a car, we went test drove it, and Robin said that it'd be a suitable car for her.
So you paid for it?
Yes, I did. I have a bill of sale right here, Your Honor. I have a check receipt here. I've got everything right here.
I'd like to see your file.
Okay.
So then what happened?
Can I add something else,
Sure.
Your Honor? Okay, I am just asking for the $1,600. I'm not asking for this for the money. I'm asking it for the purpose of that this woman, I went out of my way to help her. I didn't expect anything in return from her. But after I had purchased the car, she disappeared. For 7 days, I had it set up that she could have insurance through the insurance man that insures my car. Miss Moore was going to get her to register the car. She was gone for 7 days. I asked her, I said, Robin, you need to take care of these things. She said, well, I want to get a car stereo. I said, listen, young lady, in order for you to operate a motor vehicle, you've got to take care of these things. I'd already had it set up. She got really mad at me. She said she wouldn't talk to me. I said, fine. I said, just take care of the stuff. When I spoke to her again, I said, have you taken care of it? She said, no. She said, you're being mean to me, and I don't want to speak to you anymore. And I said, that's fine. I just need you to take care of this stuff. She never registered the car, and as far as I know right now, I don't know what she's doing with it.
Okay. Ms. Scherzer?
Yes, Your Honor.
I understand.
Your Honor, can I also tell you that, in here I have other checks that I wrote for a sofa that I purchased for her that I didn't expect anything. Also her rent that I didn't expect anything. And, it's like, one more time, it's like, my friends have told me not to do this. I'm attracted to women who work in the...
Mr. Strews?
Yes.
You say she owes you $1,600. Can I hear why she thinks that this was a gift?
Yes, I would love to hear that, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
I told him not to buy me a car because I knew that there would be something else expected, something more.
You mean something physical?
Yes. And, as far as the sofa, I didn't even know he was going to go pay for that. The furniture store called me and said, your couch has been paid for. We'd like to deliver it. Can you call us and let us know when? I don't feel that I owe him any money at all. I told him that I was seeing someone. I told him that he could not expect anything from me, nothing. And he said that was fine. He understood. If anything, he would just like to maybe be able to spend some time with me.
Where's the car?
The car is at my house.
Where's the sofa?
At my house.
Miss Scherzer?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Not while I'm getting ready to talk, sir.
Excuse me.
If you think that I believe that you're a nice young woman, you're mistaken. You're a taker. Because if what you just said to me is true, that you didn't want to accept any gifts from him because you knew that there were strings attached. Are you chewing gum?
Yes, ma'am.
Get it out of your mouth.
Okay. Your Honor?
I'm not finished.
Okay.
If somebody like this gentleman has a problem because he is generous to a fault with young women and he expects something in return, then a nice young woman would say, I'm not speaking to you.
I'm sorry.
Then a nice young woman who cared about doing the right thing would have said to the furniture store, please, I don't have the money for the sofa. Return the money to the person who paid it, and when I can afford to pick up the sofa, I will pick it up. And a nice woman would have said, not only did I tell you I don't want your help with a car, but I'm not accepting a car from you because I don't want any strings attached. You, on the other hand, madam, accepted all these things.
Yes, I did.
That's amoral, madam. It's cheapening yourself. It's cheapening yourself. If you knew in your head that he expected something from you in exchange for these gifts, and you were not prepared to give it to him, right?
Correct.
Then you're a tease. Did you ever hear that expression? Madam, did you ever hear that expression?
Your Honor,
yeah.
He would stand at my door and force me to kiss him goodbye. I never told him that there was anything that he could expect from me at all.
Miss Scherzer?
Ever.
Miss Scherzer, are you not following what I'm saying to you, madam? I mean, are you really that thick?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Obviously, she's very angry. She thinks that I'm like a desperate man, but, you know, I've got 2 women with me right here, you know? It's like, how desperate could I be?
And later today,
I didn't see a naked woman. If I did, I'd sure as hell remember it.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robin Scherzer says when Joseph Strews bought her a car, he called it a gift. But now that their friendship is over, he wants to be compensated.
When you tease someone, that means you hold a carrot in front of them like this. Okay? And you say, maybe you can have it, maybe you can't.
No.
Now, if you are not, however, put your hand down. Don't you know when to shut up? If, however, you are an honest person, you say, I want nothing to do with you, sir. I want you to take your gifts. I want you to take your money. I want you to take your sofas and your rent money and your cars and everything else. I want you to leave me alone. And if you don't leave me alone, because I'm not interested in you, I'm going to call the police. I'm going to get a restraining order so that you don't come to my door anymore. You, on the other hand, were dishonest with him. I find that to be absolutely immoral. You got it?
Yes.
Good. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,600. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor. Step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
Don't get mad, sweetheart.
No,
I'm not mad at you.
I'm not mad at all.
You're very mad.
No.
You're lying about me up there.
I think you're a joke.
Calling me,
actually.
you're calling me a desperate man. Do I look like a desperate man? I don't have any problem with women. I met her through an agency that she strips. She did. And I don't blame her. I don't think there's anything wrong with girls that strip.
Why were you calling that agency?
It's like,
do you have to call people?
We won't go into...
Do you have to call people to get them to come to your house to do that?
Honey,
Is that how desperate you are?
You're not bothering me by this. It's an expensive lesson, but I still date strippers.
And now the next case.
Party's on Miguel versus Parker. Step forward, please.
Rosalinda San Miguel is suing her exterminator, Brandon Parker, because she claims he entered her apartment without knocking and saw her in the nude. She's suing for mental anguish.
All right. You're in the shower.
I was getting ready to take a shower.
And you heard a knocking on your door?
Yes.
What did you do?
I went to my son's bedroom to look through the window to see who it was.
And who was it?
It was a pest control man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pest control?
Yes.
An exterminator?
Right.
Correct.
Of bugs?
Excuse me?
Of bugs?
Bugs, anything.
Anything. And so what did you do?
When I seen that it was him, I ignored it because I hadn't ordered no services for that day. So as I proceeded to go down the hallway to go back into the bathroom, I saw like a light in my living room. And when I went in there, he was in my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time when I went in there, I was naked.
When and where?
Into the living room because I had removed all my clothing already when I was getting ready for my shower.
So you're suing him for all kinds of pain, suffering, and distress because he let himself into your apartment and saw you naked. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, Mr. Parker.
Yes, ma'am. I was going to this apartment complex for my first time. We had just gotten the account, and they gave me a sheet of paper of a list of apartments to do. And they told me to pick 5 apartments out of this, about 20 apartments on there to do, so I went about doing that.
How did you get into these 5 apartments? So you picked 5 apartments?
Right.
How did you get into these 5 apartments?
The management sent a maintenance person with me, plus they gave me a key. Halfway through doing these apartments, the maintenance person left. So I chose her apartment was one of the last ones I was to do, and I went to her door, I knocked, and I knocked, and I knocked. No one would answer the door.
Mm-hmm.
So I assumed the apartment was empty, and I was to go in there, do my business, and get out and get gone. So I unlocked the door, opened the door, said pest control. I yelled it 3 times, and then about after the 3rd time, she came through the hallway. She was not naked.
She was?
She was not naked.
What was she wearing?
She had a long t-shirt on and what appeared to be shorts. And as I was trying to understand her, what she was trying to say to me, she was pushing me out the door. I was trying to explain to her what I was to do, and it came out to be that I had mistaken her apartment for another one that was in the same area.
Let me understand this. Was her apartment number on this list that you got?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
I also have a copy of the work order log. I had order for services 6/20/97, and it specifically says spiders outside only.
Miss Miguel, the problem is, when I read your complaint and I read his answer, it appears to me that this gentleman was told that your apartment was one of those apartments that was to be serviced that day. Do you understand?
Yes.
So my question is, if that is true, then you are suing the wrong person. You should be suing your management company, the people who told him to go into your apartment. What are you suing him for?
Correct.
He was following instructions.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I just felt I was very violated. I really was. I can understand a mistake, like I've said, but when you're asked to leave, you are to leave.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rosalinda San Miguel is suing her exterminator, Brandon Parker, because she claims he entered her apartment without knocking and saw her in the nude. She's suing for mental anguish.
On this work order log, Your Honor, it states the date of services that were supposed to be done that day.
You mean this is the work order log that he had?
This is the work order log that my management had.
Not that your management. I want to see the one that he had.
It's
so
the same
I
one.
will. What?
It's
the
the
same
same
thing?
one, Your Honor.
Let me see.
The one highlighted is my apartment, Your Honor.
Okay. President. Sir, I'd like you to look at this. This is what your employer submitted.
Right.
I'd like you to take a look at that piece of paper, please. And I have a copy of it. Does it not indicate that her apartment was only to be serviced outside?
Yes, that's what I'm saying is on the line above it, it says roaches. Whenever I went to do that, I was a busy day, and I had misread the line above it from what I was spraying for.
No, you didn't tell me that before, sir.
Well, I should have. I'm sorry.
No, you didn't tell me that before. Before you told me that you had received a list, you went into the list, and it turned out to be...
This is what I was received.
So you went into the wrong apartment.
Right.
You, the management company didn't tell you to go into that apartment. You went into the wrong apartment.
They told me to pick 5 apartments from this whole sheet.
Right, but
They
her
didn't.
apartment says spiders outside.
Right.
So what'd you go inside for?
Because I misread the line above
Because you
it.
made a...
Mistake.
Okay. That's simple.
Right.
Now, you made a mistake. So you're not suing his boss, who clearly has deep pockets, much deeper pockets, because you could have. You understand that.
Yes.
That was your mistake.
Yes,
He made a mistake. Now, is this a $5,000 mistake? Because that's what you're suing for? You're going to have to explain to me why this was a $5,000 mistake, Ms. Miguel, because I can see an apology and some sort of minimal compensation, but quite frankly, I don't see where this mistake, and it was clearly an honest mistake, is worth anywhere near $5,000.
Your Honor, we're all human. I know we all make mistakes, and I mean, my heart's not that cold, you know, to say, okay, you made a mistake. But when he went in, and I told him, what are you doing in here? He told me that he had a work order, you know, to spray for roaches. I go, I don't have roaches. You need to leave. He told me, no, you signed a waiver with your manager that I can come in here. And I told him, I never did no such thing. I asked him to leave about 3 or 4 times, Your Honor, and he would not leave. I had to take the master keys myself from the lock, and I threw them and I shoved them out my door. And I told him, I will meet you in my manager's office, because he refused to leave my home. I told him, I live here, and I'm telling you to leave, and he wouldn't leave.
Well, you understand, Ms. Miguel, that he honestly believed that he had a work order to do your apartment. You understand that? I mean, he wasn't making that up. He honestly believed that he had a work order. He misread a line. How many times did she ask you to leave, sir?
As far as I remember, I heard maybe once or twice.
Well, why didn't you leave right away?
Because I was trying to understand what she was wanting me to do.
She wanted you to leave.
Yes, I understand that, but she was speaking so fast, I was having trouble understanding her.
How long have you been working for this exterminating company, sir?
Approximately 5 to 6 months.
How much do you earn a day?
About $50 a day.
You have family?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of family do you have?
I have a wife and a young child.
How old's your child?
He's going to be a year in September.
How much money do you bring home a week?
Approximately $200.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it is.
Doesn't sound like a lot of money.
It's not.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Now, he makes $50 a day. He. The exterminating company, they make probably a lot more than $50 a day, right?
Yes, we do.
But you didn't sue them. You sued him. I think he made an honest mistake. I think he probably didn't act appropriately right away because he couldn't understand you. You were very upset. Should have left right away when she told you to leave.
I understand that.
You understand that?
Yes.
It's going to cost you 2 days' pay. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $100. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Out the back door to your right, please.
And on the next Judge Judy.
She was wearing a long t-shirt and it looked like something was under it.
When I ran back into the bathroom, I did put some clothing on.
I didn't see a naked woman. If I did, I'd sure as hell remember it. I tried apologizing there on the spot and she wouldn't listen to me.
That's not true. You never try apologizing.
I think she's only after one thing, and that's money.
Now, Pursue, you're telling me that he's terminated and he's not?
I never said he
You
was
told
gonna-
the police officer. I have it right here.
I didn't talk to the police officer,
Oh, no,
ma'am.
but your wife, Sandy, did. She called my
We
phone
had a-
and told me he was terminated.
We had to
And he
listen to
was not
Brandon
terminated.
Serpent. We had to
But
see what
that's
Brandon
okay.
has to say.
That's okay.
If she wants to do a polygraph test, hey, let's go.
How old are you?
8.
Someone damaged the computer, and little Angela was the only eyewitness. But was she old enough to say what was true or false?
If I were to tell you that the judge, you know, that's me, is a young, beautiful woman, would that be the truth or a lie?
Truth.
Yes!
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Apolinaro versus Madison. Step forward, please.
Amante and Emma Apolinario are suing their tenant, 34-year-old Marissa Madazan, claiming Marissa stole 2 pieces of Tupperware and her son ruined their computer.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 134 on the calendar in the matter of Apolinario versus Madison. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat.
You folks rented a room in your home to the defendant, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And your complaint alleges that her little boy broke a computer?
Uh-huh. That's
right. There's a very short piece about the computer in your complaint. And a very long piece about a piece of Tupperware that she took.
Here they are.
So, it says that you rented one of your master bedrooms in your home. Why did you decide to do that?
For extra money, Your Honor.
Did you put an ad in the paper?
Yes, we put it in the ad in the papers.
And she responded to the ad?
She responded to the ad, and she seems to be a nice person. And on the first day, she told us, you know, it looks like that she already knew us. You know, she tell us a lot of stories about her problems, even the first meeting. So we
So you
thought she's a
decided
nice
to rent
person,
her a room?
you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
And you were living there with your son?
I was.
How old is your son?
He was 4.5. And when I responded to the ad, I talked to them. I wanted to meet them and see if I can trust them and everything like that. And they lied to me. They told me that they only have 3 kids and a niece that living in that house. And then I found out when I was already living there were like 11 people with 2 sisters and 2 children of each.
So why didn't you move out?
I moved out because...
No, why didn't you immediately when you found out that there were so many people there? If that bothered you, why didn't you leave?
Right. I was in the middle of job change. And it was so many furnitures. I have a lot of things in the storage and a lot of stuff that I have to move. And it was a hassle because I got a new job nearby to that house in that city. So I thought that I can have a good relationship with them.
Fine. So it didn't make any difference to you that there were so many people living there?
Right.
You stayed there?
I did.
All right. Now let's get to the broken computer. This is not a big deal. You had a son. How old is he?
He was 4.5.
You say he broke your computer.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who saw him do that?
I got a witness, my daughter, who was inside the room at the time.
How old are you?
8.
8? What is your name?
Angeline.
Angelina? Come up here. Have a seat. Can you get up there? Sure you can. Hi.
Hi.
Did you go to school?
Yeah.
I have a few questions to ask you, okay? Because you're only 8 years old, so I have to find out whether I can swear you to take an oath in court. You're very pretty. Are you nervous?
Oh.
Don't be. What grade are you in school?
Second, but I'm going to be in 3rd.
Do you have a best friend in school?
Yeah.
Did you ever tell a fib?
No.
A lie?
No.
Did you ever tell a lie to your folks? To your mom, to your dad? Even a little one?
No.
Not even a little one?
Yeah.
When you told a little lie to your mom and dad, did you get punished?
Yeah.
Now, if I were to tell you that this was a duck, would that be the truth or a lie?
Lie.
Because it's what?
About that.
Now, Angelina, if I were to tell you that the judge, you know, that's me, right, is a young, beautiful woman, would that be the truth or a lie?
Truth.
Yes! Very smart little girl. Very smart little girl. Okay. Could you do me a favor, and I'm going to let you sit there. Can you raise your right hand? You know your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know this lady's little boy?
Yeah.
What's his name?
DJ.
Did you see him do anything to the computer?
Yeah.
What did you see him do?
He put the disk in the computer.
And did something happen to the computer after he did that?
Yeah, it broke.
How do you know it broke, Angelina?
Well, I didn't really check it, but my brother told me it was broken.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
But listen to me, you're not going to waste my time with Tupperware that's worth $3.
Not even. It's at my cost. It's only $1.65.
And later today,
all she could do was stand there and let him abuse me after 8 years of friendship.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marissa Madazon, a 34-year-old travel agent, says she should not be responsible for damage that Amante and Emma Apolinario say her son caused to their computer.
Now, did you have a discussion with the defendant about this computer?
Yes, Your Honor, and many times she agreed to repair it. She even called her friend to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And all I was
Did you do that?
Yes, I tried, but I told them that I cannot accept it. But they are all over me and telling me that my son is the youngest, that he's the only one capable of destroying that computer.
Yes, go ahead.
She's a liar.
No.
She keeps on promising us, especially me. She told me before, after she moved out, after June 15, she went back to my house. And she said, I asked her, where is the parts that you want to buy for our computer? She said, oh, I already ordered it. I already ordered it,
Did you
and it's
tell her
my
that?
mind. That's
Did
my
you tell
responsibility.
her that you had already
That's
ordered
what
the
she
parts?
said to me.
Shh. Did you tell? Listen to me. Did you tell her that you had ordered the parts for the computer?
I said I will order it.
Okay. Well, then you agreed to pay for it. How much were the parts?
It's $100 something.
Your Honor?
Yes.
I thought that the CD-ROM was the only defective, but it wasn't the CD-ROM that was defective.
Sir, you didn't pay all that much money for the whole computer.
I did.
No, you didn't.
What happened is, when they told me that the computer is broken, the computer is all over, I mean, it's torn apart.
Bottom line is you agreed to pay for the parts.
This is what I said.
Period. You agreed to pay for the parts. Now, how much were the parts that you agreed to pay for?
It's $125.
Okay. Next, what's about this Tupperware? Tell me about the Tupperware.
Can I just say something before
No,
that?
tell me about the Tupperware.
Okay.
I'm getting frustrated.
Wesley went on June 15. It was June 15 this year? Yeah.
June 15, she left the house, and then she went back. She left Sunday. She went back Wednesday, and me and my husband and my kids are there, supposed to be leaving, going to church. And she went by, and then
Give me
she
the
said,
Tupperware,
okay,
please.
the Tupperware. She's asking me about the Tupperware. I saw it in the garage. I told her, I never see any Tupperware of yours. What I know is
what is in the bag, madam?
This is what happened. Before I left on Sunday.
Is that the Tupperware that,
yes,
that
it
you're
is.
wasting my time about? Could I
Yes.
see it, please?
Here.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just a second. Whose Tupperware is that?
Mine.
Both items?
Yes. And I have more other parts that were stolen from their garage.
That's all I'm hearing.
That's why I wanted to tell you the story. Before I left, I asked her permission if I can leave my boxes because I didn't have any more room in my car, that I can pick them up.
Which, not interested in that. Which of these two items do you say is yours?
All of those are mine. I have a receipt here that I have lots of Tupperware in my house.
She bought my Tupperwares. I'm a dealer for less cost. Less cost of what I bought of my Tupperware, she bought.
Oh, you're not going to listen to me. You're not going to waste my time with Tupperware that's worth $3.
I know, that's right.
Not even. Not
What?
even. It's not my cost. It's only $1.65.
Fine. Would you give? You giving it to her? Perfect. We've resolved the Tupperware.
I have plenty. She bought all my
Stop.
Tupperwares.
We've just resolved the
I'm a dealer.
Tupperware.
Can I say something?
About what?
She come to my house and she got the Tupperware without my knowledge. Without
I
her
told her
knowledge.
needs.
I'm the owner of the house.
Listen to me. Wow.
She admitted.
I couldn't believe when I read this complaint that there were 2 lines about a broken computer and 20 lines about Tupperware. I couldn't understand that. I still don't understand. That
Because
must
we
be
have a
very
witness, Your Honor.
valuable Tupperware.
Well,
you
Your
now have
Honor.
it back. Quiet. Look, you have to pay them $125. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Big liar.
And now the next case.
Parties on Pinkham versus Crawford. Step forward, please.
26-year-old waitress Catherine Pinkham is suing her former friend and roommate, Chandra Crawford. Catherine claims she was kicked out of their apartment after getting into a fight with Chandra's fiancé.
Okay, you two ladies were long-term friends, I gather. And there came a time when you were living at different parts of the country, but you decided to move to California. Correct? And you decided to live together. Made arrangements to live together. You were looking for the right kind of place. And you were moving to sunny
California.
Right. But in the meantime, you found a boyfriend,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
So instead of being the 2 of you, it was going to be 3. You should have known right then and there. 2's company.
3's a crowd.
So why don't you tell me what happened and what you're suing her for?
Okay, well, I spent over $3,000 just in moving expenses, moving cross country. That is not what I'm suing her for. Basically, it's we made arrangements. We started about 1.5 years ago that we're going to live together as soon as I finish school. I received my degree. I moved cross country. I was in the house from September 8th until the 21st of the month. That night, I realized that. Well, actually, I realized little things here and there over a period of time that her boyfriend and I did not get along. I didn't like the way he was treating her.
What was wrong with the way he was treating her?
He tells her what to wear. She waits on him hand and foot. She pays all the bills for him. He has no job. He drives around in her car all day, sits on his butt and watches video games. And I just didn't like the way I ended up paying, like, I was supposed to originally pay 1/3 of the security and 1/3 of the rent. All of a sudden, before I was moving out, oh, can you pay half the security and half the rent? And I'm like, well, what about timeshare? Well, his job didn't come through yet, and da-da-da-da. And basically, I want you to pay half, and then we'll reimburse you. Well,
so did you do that?
I paid half and half, and I have receipts right here.
How much did you pay altogether?
$13.50, and I have all the receipts with her name.
Okay.
And then I agreed to do it as long as he paid me his share back. I never saw the money, and I'm like, I was there for 2 weeks. There were squabbles here and there. They tried to throw me out after 3 days because he disliked my sister. So they didn't like my friend that came out with me that was also helping me in the move. So he decided, because he didn't like my sister and didn't like my friend, he wanted me out. So he tried to throw me out after 3 days, and I stood my ground and I said, listen, you know, I've invested all this money into this place. The last thing I want to do is leave right now. I mean, it was just a big mess. Well, after he barely ever maybe said 2 or 3 words to me at a time.
What happened at the end of September when you
Okay,
left?
what happened the night is I wasn't feeling well one day. We were watching TV. I mentioned there was a commercial on for pesto crust pizza. I mentioned that I disliked pizza because I was living on the East Coast and that I prefer the pizza on the East Coast better and that I don't recommend eating it. He got up, stormed out of the room, and slammed the door. So I was just sitting there going, okay, what just happened? She came in the room 5 minutes later, Chandra did, and said, you've been bitching all day, about all kinds of things, and, you know, I can tell you don't feel well, and, you know, and I said, listen, Chandra, I said, I'm going to find my own place. It's just not working out because he's just not being very nice to me, and I've made efforts to be nice to him, and it's not working.
Okay, so?
So she went outside and told him that I thought it would be best that I moved out. He wouldn't come into the house, so when she came into the house, I kind of said, well, I don't feel well, but I'm going to go out and run some errands so he can come into the house, and you guys can talk, and I'll come back in a bit. I leave, I come back, I see him tearing down the street in her Jeep. I pull up to the house, she comes outside of the house shaking her head, going, you can't be here in 5 minutes. He said it was either you or him. And I said, you chose him? She goes, yes. And I said, well, can I go into the house and get some of my things? As I was in there, he came back. He was calling me pretty much every profane word you can think of, being very, very rude, getting in my face, threatening me, overpowering me, and, you know, and
so you left that night?
I left that night with nowhere to go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wouldn't pour water on her. She was standing next to me on fire.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Catherine Pinkham is suing her former friend and roommate, Chandra Crawford, because Chandra and her fiancé kicked her out of their apartment. Chandra and Tom say Catherine violated the terms of the lease.
All right, so far I have $1,350 for security deposit. What else are you suing for? Because the total lawsuit is $1,700.
Okay, I'm also suing for moving expenses for the truck that I had to rent the second day when I went back to get my things.
How much was that?
That's $153. Mm-hmm. And then another $153
for what?
Storage.
What storage?
I had to get a
for
storage
what?
unit to put my things in. I was afraid they were going to be trashed, so I went back the following day with the police to get my things.
All right, Miss Crawford, first of all, where is Dream Boy?
Your Honor?
Where is he?
He's at work.
Got a job?
Yes, ma'am.
When did he get a job?
He was employed the day after she left. She left on a Sunday. He went to work that Monday.
Did he send her any money?
The arrangements to pay her back was between her and I.
So did you send her any money?
I tried to contact her, Your Honor. She never returned my phone calls. She never, after September 29th was the last time I spoke to her on the phone when she called me at work. I said, call me next week, I will make arrangements. She never bothered calling me back. She never left me a forwarding address. I tried on 3 separate occasions.
Did you feel badly about it?
Yeah, I felt horrible. We were best friends for 8 years. I mean, honestly, I really did not know this was going to happen.
Let me ask you this question. Tom clearly, when she was living there, was not employed and was home a good deal of the time, right?
Yes, ma'am.
How long was it that he wasn't employed full-time, that you were supporting him?
Your Honor, I wasn't supporting him.
Who was?
He had part-time work.
Not when she was there.
It was about 3 months total.
So it was
but
about
I was
3
not
months.
supporting him. He was drawing off his savings.
So he had savings?
Yeah.
So why didn't he put in the money for his share of the security deposit from his savings instead of asking a stranger for it?
I asked her for it, Your Honor, because we were friends.
But that's not fair. If you have a boyfriend who's got savings, why should you ask her to dip into her meager savings to pay for him. Did you know that Tom had savings?
I did not know that.
Did Tom know that you asked her for money?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
How old is he?
26.
Does he have children?
Yes, ma'am, he does.
How many?
2.
How did I know that? Do you have children?
No, I don't.
How old are you?
28.
Mm-hmm. Where are Tom's children?
His wife and he have joint custody. They're with their mother most of the time.
Was he sending support for his children?
Yes, he was.
When he wasn't working?
Yes, he was. He was drawing it out of his savings.
I don't believe that. Miss Crawford, how long have you been with Tom?
About 6 months.
Keep your eyes open.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, there is no question. I believe her that you threw her out of the house. According to your own answer, you pretty much say, I had to make a choice. Tom or her. I mean, you go through a lot of things here when you say, well, she didn't follow the rules and everything else. But I think that you know that you owe her this money. It's clear to me that your boyfriend clearly didn't like sharing his home with someone who was disapproving of the way he was behaving, especially the way he was treating you. You probably did things that irritated Tom, and that he's had a sense from the way you were acting that you were disapproving. So I can understand him not particularly liking you.
So can I.
But you can't throw her out of the house. You made that choice, so now you got to pay her. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount requested in the complaint, which is $1,782. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
The night they threw me out, she let him call me every name in the book, treat me like a total and all she could do was stand there and let him abuse me after 8 years of friendship. She totally destroyed it. It made me feel horrible. It breaks my heart, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, it's over, and I don't care to ever see her again.
I wouldn't pour water on her. She was standing next to me on fire.
She was ballistic. He told me he was going to mess me up.
They were two angry nurses in a home for Alzheimer patients, and they couldn't agree on what kind of bird it was.
This lady came out of nowhere telling me it wasn't a cockatiel, it's a cockatoo.
I hope that I am never put in a hospital by my children and have to deal with two people like you.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Phillips versus Nance. Step forward, please.
Henry Phillips, a 45-year-old nursing assistant from Chicago, is suing his co-worker Tina Nance. Henry says he filed this lawsuit after getting into a heated argument with Tina over her pet cockatoo.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 165 on the calendar in the matter of Phillips versus Nance. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Am I correct, Mr. Phillips, that you and the defendant worked together?
Fortunately, no, Your Honor.
Did you work together?
No.
Well, you work in I couldn't quite figure that out from this complaint. You work in a hospital.
Correct, Your Honor. I am a practitioner RN from Ohio, and I was supposed to do 11 to 7.
Shh. You are a nurse.
Right.
In a hospital.
Right.
What kind of a hospital?
Rehab. Rehabilitation.
Psychiatric rehabilitation?
Alzheimer's, broken body parts, etc.
Do you work in that hospital?
No, ma'am.
Were you a patient in that hospital?
No, ma'am.
Well, how did you come to be in the hospital with him?
I was not at a hospital. Where he was where I was.
Just a second. This is, hey.
Order.
We worked on
Can we
different...
start over?
Okay.
All right, we're going to start over. Mr.
Okay.
Phillips,
Yes.
you and the defendant work at the same facility.
Unfortunately,
The answer is yes or no?
At that particular time, yes.
All right.
But different wings, Your Honor.
Okay, different wings.
Yes.
And you had an argument with her.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
So then why are you here, sir?
I am here because the fact that on my break, I had to go through her unit to get to the foyer, or let's say get to the patio for a cigarette. And earlier that day, I had been hearing the noise of a cat, and I thought the zoo had came in for the older people. And when I went to her wing, I noticed there was a cockatiel there. And I
cockatiel, you mean a bird?
Yes. And I complimented the bird. She wasn't present at the time when I made the compliment.
What did you say about the bird?
How pretty the bird is, how old the bird is, how big he is.
Who had the bird?
There was another employee who had the bird on their shoulder.
Now, this is a large white bird?
Yes, yes. And upon my giving compliments, this lady came out of nowhere, the defendant came out of nowhere, cursing and swearing, and telling me it wasn't a cockatiel, it was a cockatoo, and I should pronounce my words correctly, and she was ballistic. She went ballistic, Your Honor. And
just a second. Let me understand this. You said, what a nice cockatiel.
Yes.
And what you're telling me is she came out of nowhere and was angry because the bird, she said, was a cockatoo.
Right, right. And so I continued to go outside for my cigarette break. Oh, let's say a matter of minutes, between 2 and 3 minutes, this lady came out cursing, swearing, ballistic again. I put the cigarette out, went back onto my unit, and a couple of...
Without telling me the swear words, because I've heard them all, what was the gist of what she was saying to you?
That she just didn't like me.
Had you ever seen her before?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
No.
So then you put out your cigarette, you went back to your unit.
Yes.
And what happened next?
Later on, maybe an hour or so, the supervisor called. And the lady who I was working with, she called me and told me that the supervisor wanted to speak to me over the phone. When I got to the nurse's station, I got the phone call. The nurse was telling me that this lady had called her and told her that I had cursed her out, that I had threatened her, that I had made her life miserable, her time there miserable, and not to go in that area again if I can avoid it. Go around for your next cigarette. So I said, fine, no problem. But I don't know who you're talking about, because she tried to describe the lady to me. I did not know her, so it was hard to describe her to me. But when I realized it was over the bird, I knew who the person was involved. And so between 9 o'clock and 10:30, I went on my second break. And I went around like I had been asked to. When I did, I noticed she, with this fella here, they came on the grounds. This guy came on the grounds with a sleeveless shirt on and short pants. He passed security and 3 units to come looking for me. She brought him to my unit, introduced him to the RNs who were on the unit as her son. Some told me that they were afraid that something was...
Don't tell me what they told you. She introduced them as her son.
Okay.
Tell me what happened with you.
And when after, at 11 o'clock is the end of the shift. Upon my leaving, he and 4 more men got out of a car. He approached me, and he said to me, and I quote, "Man, what is this I heard you saying to my mother? Why are you giving my mother a hard time? My mother, you say you're going to rape my mother?" And I looked at him like he was crazy. I said, "Look at her. Look at me. What do I want with that?" And I left it at that. And I said, "I can't believe this." I immediately went back into the hospital. I asked the supervisor who I had talked to earlier to call the Evergreen Police Department. She told me, "You call them yourself." Now, by the way, I didn't make it clear, I am agency. I am agency. That means I go wherever I'm needed.
So you don't work for the hospital. You
No.
work for an independent. You work for an independent agency, and they send you to various locations.
Yes, because I work for various hospitals.
So the
as
hospital
well
said
as-
to you, "Listen, you're not our responsibility. If you have a problem, you call yourself." To the police.
Right, and no, she really said it out of fright, Your Honor.
So you called the police, sir?
Yes, I went to the nurse's station and I called the police. Immediately, there was 2 squad cars and a paddy wagon.
Just a second. Is that what happened? Is that what you're suing about?
No, I am suing, Your Honor, for... Excuse me for just a minute, Your Honor.
Is that the incident that you're suing over, sir?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
Have you told me about the incident now?
Yes, and here's you have a copy of the police report?
I don't have a copy of the police report, sir. I will take a copy of the police report.
This is the police report, and it states there...
Don't tell me what it states. I can read. What I'm asking you, sir, is have you concluded what the argument was with,
Your Honor, to be honest with you...
the defendant on that day? Because I have...
No, Your Honor. No, I did not. Because, like I said earlier, I do not know this lady, nor do I wish to be affiliated with this lady in any way, shape, or form. And when she told lies, I felt that it was slander. And she herself, it is a known fact that they... It's a known fact that they...
You're suing her for slander, Mr. Phillips.
Yes,
We've got to cut this short, sir.
Yes.
You're suing her for slander. And the slander you say is when she told her son or somebody else that you were going to rape her.
Right, and I also have...
Is that right so far?
Yes, and
Is there any other slander that you're suing her for? Yes or no?
No, I'm not. No other slanders, but the violation of my civil right was denied. There was an unlawful weapon on the premises, which she had. She was intoxicated as well.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
And if I'd have cursed him out, you'd have heard it over here in California, all the way from Chicago.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nursing assistant Tina Nance says she was worried for her safety when her coworker, 45-year-old Henry Phillips, picked a fight with her over her pet cockatoo.
Now you want to tell me your version of what happened, madam?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
I work at Advocate Transitional Care Center. I am a CNA, the same thing he is, which is a certified nursing assistant.
How long have you been working there?
I have been there 10 years. I work in the Alzheimer dementia wing. On this date in question, my daughter had her cockatoo. She is a Moluccan cockatoo, okay? He comes back in my wing where I worked in the 600 wing. He was supposed to be in the 500 wing. He come back there to tell me this was not a cockatoo, it was a cockatiel. I said, excuse me, I think I know what this bird is. It upset him and he continued to argue with me that this was a cockatiel and not a cockatoo. So he explained to me that a cockatiel is one and a cockatoo is two or more, okay? I stayed in my wing. This man kept coming through the 600 wing. He did not have to come through the 600 wing. He kept coming through there trying to agitate. This went on about 6 hours.
Tell me what he was saying when you say he was trying to agitate. What was he saying to you?
It wasn't that he said anything to me, Your Honor. He didn't say anything to me when he was coming through, but we knew he didn't have to come through the 600 wing.
Okay, go ahead.
After this went on, I talked to my supervisor, and I explained to her the situation and what this man had said.
Well, what did he say that you explained to your
supervisor? When we were outside, I went out to have a cigarette like he did. I told him if I was going to call you a liar, I would have my facts straight, which was meaning that this is not a cockatiel, it's a cockatoo. He told me to go to the UK. I don't know what that is and where it is. I tried to walk on inside. He told me he was going to mess me up. He was waiting for me. I went in, I talked to the supervisor, I explained to her what had happened and what had been said. I went back to my unit. He continued to come through there so much that my charge nurse called the supervisor and talked to her and told her that he continually come back there to the 600 wing. He was up there in the 500 wing. You could hear everything he was saying from up in the 500 wing. And he kept coming through there. I ignored him. My charge nurse asked that he not come through there again. It was shorter for him to go through his own wing than to be coming through my wing. This man filed a report. In the police report, and I have a copy of it too, there is nothing in there about I told my son that he tried to rape me. He also said in the report, it's in black and white, that I was high or drunk, smelling of alcohol, and was a menace to the institution and should be released. Now, I'd never seen this man one day in my life, to my knowledge, Your Honor. I would not approach somebody not knowing anybody. This man came up to me and just went out of the blue sky trying to tip. If she was a crocodiliac, it wasn't his business. He'd have no business back there in my wing trying to tell me what I was doing. Then this man goes and files a police report. Then he goes and tried to sue me. Nothing in that police report says anything, okay, about a rape. Nothing says anything about a weapon. I had no weapon. It seems to me, since you called the police and you thought I had the weapon, that'd been the first thing you told him. So that would have been in the police report. That was not there, okay? Then he said that I'm drunk. That is not in the police report. So all of a sudden, a day or two later, you go and sue somebody, and you come up with some more information that wasn't even there.
I listened to you. Did I listen to you? What's your name?
Michael Johnson.
What were you doing in the hospital that day?
My mother called me, told me that she had gotten into an argument.
Look at me when you talk.
She had gotten into an argument with a man there. She told me that she thought she would be okay, but she wasn't sure because he had threatened to see her later on after work. So I came up there later around the time that she gets off of work, make sure that she's gonna get home safe. I'm standing outside talking to another woman that works there, right? He had come outside the building. Still, I had known that this was the person that she even, was saying that she was scared of. And he walked up to the lady that I was talking to and mentioned to her, did you hear this lady earlier arguing, talking about the bird is this, but it's that? I don't know what either one is.
And you don't care?
No, not really.
Me neither.
And so she said, who? And he told her name, Tina. And she said, Tina in 600? Then that's when I said, well, Tina, that's my mother. What's going on, y'all? Y'all having a problem? He looked at me like I turned into a big monster, dropped his bags, ran inside the building, right? She standing outside at the time, so I'm talking to her, and she was like, well, yeah, he was the man, he was threatening, but I'm gonna be all right. And a couple seconds later, police pulled up like.
All right, why don't you sit down? I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Something I don't understand.
Yes.
Why did you get so aggravated because he called the bird a cockatiel and it was a cockatoo? Why did you get so aggravated?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I hope that I am never put in a hospital by my children and have to deal with two people like you.
Closed captioning, sponsored in part by Real Cases, Real People, Judge Judy. Co-workers Tina Nance and Henry Phillips are before Judge Judy because of a fight they got into on the job. They claim the argument started over Tina's pet bird.
Why did you get so aggravated because he called the bird a cockatiel and it was a cockatoo? Why did you get so aggravated?
I wasn't aggravated at that time.
You said you went over and corrected him and said it's a cockatoo.
This was hours later after we started hearing him up front in the 500 wing, babbling on about this bird, him constantly coming through the 600 wing. This was later on after this had started. I wasn't so much upset about whether he knew what he was talking about in the beginning, but he was sending people. He sent a girl that was working up there in the front, back there, to come tell me that he's constantly going on with it, that this is a cockatoo.
Miss Nance, Put your hand down, sir. What I'm asking you is, if I believe what you tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you would agree that there's something wrong with him upstairs, right?
Yes.
So why would you have any confrontation with him at all? Why would you say a word to him? You did. You clearly did. You went out there, you had a cigarette when he went out, when he was out there. You engaged him. If what you're telling me is accurate, and you're a nurse who's supposed to handle people who have psychiatric problems, why would you get involved with somebody whose behavior was nutty? Why?
What I tried to do was keep the situation from being explosive. I left him alone. He kept coming to me.
No, you were confrontational. You corrected him.
In the beginning, yes.
In the beginning,
okay.
At all. All right, now, I'm going to ask you the same question,
yes,
sir.
Your Honor.
Just listen to me. You've described conduct to me on the part of Miss Nance that appears to be a little bit nutty.
Yes.
Right? I mean, to get so excited about whether a bird is a cockatiel or a cockatoo or a parrot or a chipmunk, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's irrelevant.
It's irrelevant.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, but you entered into this discourse with this lady, and I don't understand why, being a professional nurse in a psychiatric environment, you didn't just say,
Your Honor.
This is somebody I don't want to deal with.
Like I told you prior, I don't know the woman, do not wish to know the woman in any fashion. I paid many compliments. I don't feel that this woman had to act the way she did to pay a compliment. I don't think my life or any verbal abuse should be there when I make a compliment.
What compliment?
On the bird.
You mean that the bird was a nice cockatiel?
Yes, right. And I have made many compliments. No one has ever tried to take my head off.
All right, listen, I'm ready. Ready?
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
Mr. Phillips, I know that this was an egregious time for you, that it was a very unpleasant day, but not every unpleasant day results in a court suit and should result in taking up time with a court. I don't find that there was any slander that was proven, but don't put your hand down. You talked in your complaint about rape. I didn't hear anything about rape. I heard about messing you up or better watch out. I'm not even sure that that happened. All I can tell you is what I hear from both of you people is that I hope that I am never put in a hospital by my children and have to deal with two people like you. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excuse, step out.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Blood was spilled the night a bail bondsman caught up with a suspect.
You've been in jail before, you've been arrested before, you've had bond posted before. You know the drill.
Real people. Judge Judy.
As you can see, the lady is an habitual liar.
You know, I have nothing to say to an illiterate, ignorant person like him. I don't have time to play games. When I want to play, I play with my grandbabies. I don't have time for him.
I was the one that was the victim.
When you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this case
is the little girl.
A decade-long family tragedy unfolds because a young mother can't cope.
A child is not a piece of meat.
I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. There was a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
You are about to enter the courtroom of Judge Judith Scheinlin. The people are real. The cases are real. The rulings are final. This is her courtroom. This is Judge Judy.
Parties on Castillo versus Hopkins. Step forward, please.
28-year-old Marnie Castillo is suing her aunt, 43-year-old Vicky Hopkins. Marnie claims that Vicky agreed to adopt her daughter 9 years ago, but the adoption never actually took place. Now the state is coming after Marnie for back child support, and she wants her aunt to pay.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, all rise. Your Honor, this is case number 217 on the calendar in the matter of Castillo versus Hopkins. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, sir.
Reading these papers suggests to me that this was a terrible tragedy in your family, but most especially for an innocent child who was now 10?
9.
9. Ms. Castillo, you present to me a very unique cause of action, one that I have not seen before in my 25 years. You are suing the defendant for what appears to be a failed adoption of your child.
Yes.
You were a teenager, you had a child out of wedlock.
That's true.
And the defendant is your aunt.
That's true.
Briefly, she and her husband agreed to take custody of this child. She says because the child wasn't being cared for properly as an infant. Is that right?
That's right. That's not true.
Well, she'll tell me about that. There came a point when you said that you would adopt, or to at least take custody of this child and perhaps adopt her when she was an infant.
Right.
How old?
She was 14 months old.
And for that first 14 months, she had lived with her mother?
Off and on, she lived with Marnie. She visited with me from the time she was 2 weeks old, off and on.
Visited you, not lived with you.
Ms. Castillo, I would suggest that you not be hostile.
I'm sorry.
In any event, the child's now 9 years old. And what this is all about is, for one reason or another, which I find very interesting in here, this adoption did not take place. You did not adopt this child with your husband. And the child at some point was being supported by the taxpayers.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
And the state has come against you
Yes, that's true.
for back child support.
Yes.
So you are suing your aunt because she didn't adopt your daughter, and therefore you're stuck paying the child support. That's what this case is about.
That's basically, yes, what it's about.
Your Honor, can I say something? We were going to adopt this little girl because the father was named unknown in the whole beginning of everything.
I have all the paperwork here.
Ms. Castillo,
sorry, ma'am.
Don't interrupt.
Okay. Up until these final papers were sent to us, everything was going according to plan.
How old was the child at that point?
She was 14 months old. We got a letter and some papers sent to us from Don Smith, which was handling the adoption, showing that Fillmore Hostler was Marley's father that Marnie had named. He was Native American. We were told in the beginning it was a good thing this little girl's father wasn't Native American. It would have to be okayed by the tribe.
Okay, let me go back so that we all, put your hand down, so that we all understand each other. Can I see those papers, please? When a child is the child, at least in a certain amount of blood lineage of an American Indian, under the U.S. Code, all the states have agreed that whatever dealings involve that child by way of custody or adoption, the tribe, the native tribe, has first crack at trying those cases or at dealing with the adoption because they feel as if the tribe wants to hold on to whatever children that they have rather than allow the state to be involved. So that is the law. You are quite correct. Now, did you name someone at any point, Ms. Castillo, as the father of this child?
Not at the birth, but during the rundown on the adoption with Don Smith, yes, I did name the real father.
Okay.
And
now, the real father that you named was a person who was an American Indian.
He was half, and I also have papers stating that it says Caucasian with his name on it, with their signatures on it.
If he is half American Indian, then the tribe has the right to deal with the adoption. If you had wanted them to adopt this child with ease and let it go through, why at the time that they filed the papers did you name, when you first said, I don't know who the father is, why did you then name somebody who was an American Indian as the father?
He was her father, and at the time, I was telling the honest truth. I wanted the best for my little girl.
Just a second.
I did want the best for her.
Ms. Castillo, then if he was the father, that means that you lied at the beginning when you said you didn't know who the father was.
I never had told that I didn't know who the father was. I just didn't sign the birth certificate with any father's name on it. I never told them that I didn't know who the father was. Personally, I didn't tell anybody who the father was. It was no one's business. I didn't know what I was doing as an 18-year-old giving birth to a little girl. I didn't know that. That's right.
Then somebody else was named as the father.
She named that person on the papers. It asked in the DA's papers who you have slept with in the last 5 months. The person she's pushing for the child support was named because I was dating him in June.
Just a second. Just a second. She can't name somebody else as the father.
She named them because he was on the DA's papers stating that I slept with him in June. So since she considered that as a person to go for the back child support, she pushed it.
Just a minute. She's not suing you for back child support, Ms. Castillo. Hey! She's not suing you for child support. The state is suing you for the money that the taxpayers paid out for your daughter.
I understand that, but she also told my mother on a phone conversation, why should Marnie have to pay for it and let the father pay for it? And Evan Duke looks like her father, and she looks like Linda Evans, the mother.
Why don't you take a blood test?
We have taken a blood test. It hasn't came back yet.
Oh, baloney.
It has not. The blood tests were just barely taken 3 weeks ago.
At age 9?
At age 9 years old. This only has been coming about just this year.
If the person that you say she named as the father...
He's not.
Is not.
Excuse me, ma'am. He's not the father, though.
Then the blood test will establish
That's true.
that.
That is very true.
Then you will totally be responsible for the child support.
Totally be responsible for a breach of contract agreement?
There is no... Madam, let me explain something to you. A child is not a piece of meat.
I didn't think it was a piece
No,
of
a
meat.
child is not a piece of meat.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this unusual custody case, Vicki Hopkins is being sued by her niece, Marnie Castillo, after caring for her daughter for many years. Marnie says she thought her aunt adopted her daughter 9 years ago and was shocked to find out that the adoption never went through. Now the state wants Marnie to pay back child support, but Marnie feels her aunt should pay.
I understand that this child at some point went back to you.
Yes.
Is that just... Yes. When did the child come back to you?
When my aunt had had surgery and she got on all kinds of medication, my uncle thought it was a better idea for her to come back to the mother. Since I had been previously on drugs and on alcohol, I do admit to that, yes. But it took me a long journey to get where I am today. And the child was in the best interest with them. But they always led me to believe she was adopted to them, and I was never an absent parent. That's why I'm angry about the child support. I never had proper visitations. I had no clue she wasn't adopted until 1994 on Easter, when my aunt and I got into a fight during Easter. She left me at our family function. I had to find my own ride home that time. We got back. The DA had sent me papers saying I owed this back child support. But the fact of what I'm here to argue is they never let me have anything to do with her. And if I was an absent parent, I should have had paternal rights. I should have been notified that they had never adopted her. And nothing. I was never adopted.
Are you saying to me, Miss Castillo, that your aunt and uncle prevented you from seeing this little...
Yes, they did, ma'am. They did.
You're not letting me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't cut me off.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Are you saying that your aunt and uncle didn't let you see your daughter?
Yes, I'm telling you that.
Is that true?
No, that's not
That
true.
is true, and you know it.
In the very
And you moved
beginning,
away
when
from her.
Marley
You
first
moved
came
away.
to us...
You're
I could never
irritating
see
me.
her.
If you irritate me again,
sorry.
I'm going to
I
dismiss your
understand.
case.
Okay.
Good.
In the beginning, when Marley first came to stay with us, for her to bond with my husband, my daughter, and myself, she was going through an emotional time, up in the night crying, couldn't figure out where her mother was at. I asked Marnie not to come to visit for at least the first 6 months
3 years.
so she could bond with us.
3 years.
I told you.
I'm
I
sorry,
told
ma'am.
you one more time, and you're out of here. You got it?
Yeah.
One more time. Be careful, because I mean it. Go ahead.
This happened. After the first 6 months, Marnie was allowed to visit with Marley. I never heard from Marnie very much. Marnie would call, and I would talk to her, and I would tell her how Marley was doing. I told her the adoption had stopped because she had named Fillmore as the father, and I said, I can't have this little girl ripped out of my arms into a strange people's place when this little girl is emotional already. And Marnie was told that on the phone a number of times. Even Marnie's mother, which is my sister, was told this. My sister was very upset with Marnie for doing that. And she made the comment, if this little girl...
Don't tell me what, what your
Anyway,
sister
the
said.
whole thing boiled down to, after the first 6 months, Marley bonded with us, and everything became much better in the household. Marnie was allowed to see her whenever she wanted.
How often did she, in fact, come?
Marnie very seldom contacted or called us. Unless Marnie was fighting with one of her boyfriends, then she would call us on the phone and talk to me to come and help her get her out of a situation with one of the boyfriends. Of course, I lived away from her, couldn't do anything about it. So, other than the phone calls, there was nothing I could do. Marnie was always welcome to come see that child.
Miss Hopkins, at what point did you return the child to her mother?
I returned Marley in May of 1996.
Why?
My husband and I had discussed it. My sister told Marley who her real mother was on a visit one weekend. And when she brought her back, she says to me, "Oh, by the way, I told Marley who her real mother is." I was just devastated. We were waiting to tell her when the time was right.
So she had been with you for 8 years?
For 8 years, and we were waiting to tell her who her real mother was. But my sister brought it upon herself to do it. After that, things started to change.
What's wrong with your sister?
I love her, but people do their own thing. And so
what happened?
after that, Marley wanted to be around Marnie because she felt this bond with her. She asked me, "Mom, why did Marnie keep Tristano and give me away?" I said,
You mean she has another child?
"Yes."
How old is the other child?
2, I guess.
2?
2.5. And I said, "Honey, you'll have to ask Marnie that because I can't answer your question."
When she had come to see or had seen the little girl, how was she introduced to her during these 8 years?
She called Marnie Rui and Rue all the time. And that's what she addressed her as.
Okay.
Until my sister told her who her real mother was. And I told Marley, I said, "If you want to call her Mom, that's up to you, Marley."
What had she called you?
She calls me Mom, she calls my husband Dad, and she calls my oldest daughter Sister.
Okay. So what happened to propel the child from your home to their home?
So after that, with Marley being curious and wanting to be around her little brother and be around her real mother, I talked to my husband one evening and I said, "What would you do if Marnie asked for Marley to come back to her?" He said, "Well, would that be so bad?" He said, "Would giving Marnie a second chance at being a mother be really bad?" He said, "She is doing good now," and he said, "Not a lot of people get a second chance." So the both of us decided that would be okay. We talked to Marnie, and that's how she ended up going back. I called 2 or 3 times a day, upset and checking on the little girl. I did go through a nervous breakdown the whole year of letting her go, wondering if it was the right thing. I do now know that it wasn't the right thing. And Marnie had her 2 months, sent her to her mother, which is my sister. I called and I said, "Can I talk to Marley? She's outside playing." I called 3 or 4 times, the same answer. Finally, Marnie said, "Well, she's at my mom's." I thought she was there on a visit. Come to find out, Marnie had sent her there permanently. The little girl is still now with my sister. In the beginning, my sister and I had problems, and I said, "The little girl should have been sent back to us, not to you. Why did you guys do this to us?" And I literally had a breakdown over it. My husband called Marnie and said, "Why didn't you guys send this little girl home?"
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt and my cousin is my sister. What about that one?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In this bizarre child custody case, Marnie Castillo feels her aunt, Vicky Hopkins, should be responsible for paying back child support for Marnie's daughter.
Why did you send her to your mother's house?
My aunt knew we lived in a very small...
Why did you send her to your mother's house?
I lived in a studio apartment, my husband, I, and my son. My aunt told me if I didn't take her in May that it wouldn't be a good thing for her to go back. So
You mean because of school?
But there was no room in this house for her. She had her own things, her own bedroom, and we had no room at the time.
Just a second.
We
Miss
were
Castillo! Did you tell your aunt when you spoke to her, before your daughter was moved to your house, "I can't take her now"?
Yes.
Just a second. "I cannot take her now. I have no room"?
Yes, I did say that.
Did you say that to you?
No, ma'am. I would have never, ever...
Oh,
Can I
please,
address her?
Miss Castillo.
Can I address
You
her,
are
please?
so full of baloney that
No,
you
I'm
told
not,
this
ma'am.
lady who had parented a
This
child
is my
for 8
husband
years.
who's a witness. He was there during the conversation.
place was
She
too
came
small.
to our house to see how big
This
it was.
action was forced upon Marnie. I asked her, can she wait till we get a bigger place, something. I could foresee the problems happening. The child was used to her own room, bigger things. All we had was this little small apartment. It was very difficult.
So who did you tell that to?
My aunt.
No! You listen to me. Who did you tell that to, sir?
I explained this to my wife.
I'm not interested whether you explained it to your wife. I'm interested in... I don't believe that she told Her aunt.
I did.
Oh, I don't believe you,
I
madam.
overheard it on the phone conversation.
I don't believe you. Sit down. I don't believe you. Because I don't believe that this
Ma'am,
lady
can
who
I
had
address you,
parented a
please?
child. Hey,
Please, can I state something? You know what? I went through a lot of trauma and turmoil over this
you
whole thing.
Hey, you caused a lot of trauma.
I didn't cause anything. My aunt is putting on a melancholy act here. I was the one that was the victim. They only agreed to take her if it was on adoption terms. Yes, I was having problems, but maybe I could have gone. I went to drug treatment. They moved away when I was in drug treatment. I had no clue where they were. I was trying to get my life together, and they moved away. I didn't get in contact with the little girl again until she was 3 years old. I had no Christmas visitations with her, no holidays, nothing. My aunt's leading you to believe that she's the victim. She was never the victim in this. I and my little girl both were a victim. I was 18 years old, didn't know what I was doing. I asked them for help. They were like my parents to me. I believed
May I see the bill, please, for the
bill
state
is
says
right
that
here,
you
and
owe
all
them.
the adoption paper stuff is
Can
here,
I
ma'am.
see what the bill is that the state says that you owe them?
I'm sorry to get angry, but this hurts me. I've gone through a lot with this, and my aunt didn't go through anything
Past
except last year,
Past due.
the nervous breakdown, if she even did.
45:30.
She
Miss
constantly
Castillo,
called.
Miss Castillo, it's too bad that you have 2 children. Not 1, but 2.
I do have
Because
2.
when you, it's too bad you have any. Because when you call
That is a
yourself a
cruel thing to
victim,
say. That's a
when
cruel
you
thing to
call
say to me.
when you call yourself a victim, the only victim in this case
is the little girl.
That's right. You caused it. Your irresponsibility caused it. Your drug problem caused it. Your drug rehabilitation caused it. These people didn't need an additional responsibility. They took on that responsibility because of a problem, a mess you created. You compounded it. You compounded it by naming someone as the father of this child who precluded them, without a great deal of hassle, from going through with an adoption. At some point, your mother told this little girl at age 8 and a half
That has nothing to do with me.
told her that she was not her mother, that you were the mother. That's very confusing. I don't know where your sister went to psychiatry school, but she probably got it in some thing where you read behind it in a magazine, because she's not a very intelligent woman, clearly not an intelligent woman. Ultimately, the only one who suffered emotionally, who's an innocent, is your daughter. Next in line are these people, and way down the pike are you.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
This case has to do with money. And the only issue is whether I'm going to tell this lady that she's got to pay $4,300, or I'm going to tell you that you got to pay $4,300, which is the amount that was paid as enforced support by the state over an 8-year period. 8 years. So I guarantee you that this lady and her husband paid a lot more to raise this child for 8 years than $4,300. Guaranteed. Because if you figure that out on a weekly basis, you pay more to take care of a goldfish. That is the difference that the state had to pick up. You, madam, this is your problem. You're responsible for this money. You pay it. Case dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I hate you, you know that?
Is this yours? Out the back door to your right, please.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
I had no clue I was an absent parent. I thought they adopted her. I agreed up on all their terms to only visit when they said.
That's not true.
That
I
is
called
true.
her right after I got the papers that
No,
Fillmore
you did
was
not
her
call
father.
me. I was in a drug
and told
treatment.
her
Didn't know where you were, lady.
That
didn't know
she
where
just
you were.
stopped the case because it would have to go through the tribe.
What about the fact that your daughter is my dad's real daughter, Vicky, huh? What about that fact? You're my aunt.